after a warm wash, you gather your instruments. These are the things you're gonna need. I'm gonna put them in the description, but you saw them. This is your beeswax and your gel. These are the most important. At least down here, that's what we have access to. And for me, that's what holds the hair better, holds our hair better. Yeah, so make your mix. Those are the proportions. You're gonna get more gel than your beeswax. Not too, like, you don't need too much, but that's about it. You kind of use your eyes, otherwise we need a scale. But yeah, make your mix. Mix. Mix it real good. And then, so the important things you need to remember, I think that might not be communicated in a lot of videos, is that your hair needs to be damp, not dry and not wet, just damp. This is important for the gel to hold properly. Yeah. Also, you want to be gentle when you're making your partings. Don't try to force hair that's refusing, like don't break too much hair, don't tag too much. And this entire process was done slower than this, much gentler, but I put it in fast forward because who's got time to watch the entire process? That's long. So I did that. So I like to, when I start with my back line, I like to go under as well. This is to make sure it's as neat as possible, and I like to apply on the entire row of 4 because it helps with my speed. It really helps cut down on time, and also just, I guess, to be neater. I used to do each individual lock strand at a time, and then I saw this somewhere and I tried it and I'm like, okay. Be cautious not to overput your product. The product might look white on your hand, but when it's in the hair, it should not look white. That is why you rub it with your fingers. The heat, the friction between your fingers and the hair, that rubbing will, melt the product, because you want it to moisturize your hair and hold your hair. But that's about it. It shouldn't be overbearing on your hair. You're focusing on your root because the rest of the hair is locked. You don't need to put product on that part. On the rest of the strand, you would use other things. You can put water, but you don't want to put in oil. And then I'd also like to say, be observant of your locks. Different locks, it's the same head, but you're going to see one is thinner than the other, one is thicker, and all that, and you're going to have to deal with it the way it is. These ones which are strong, you can just locksmith like this. This is locksmithing. That is because they are strands which are, out there, like they are strays. Otherwise, palm rolling is sufficient. The lock we're about to work on had fallen out, so we had reattached it. It had fallen out previously. So you can see it's a little thin and weak, so you're going to have to be gentle with it. You're not going to do what you do with the healthier locks. I think, that's important to remember, because you could damage someone's hair further. Your fingers, your hands basically are enough to get this hair styled down. So just, repetition. Palm rolled it, then just, take care of it at the root where it's healthy. It will definitely eventually recover. You know how trees behave? Our hair is like trees. It will recover. So this lock at the last was too thick. I couldn't use the comb to twist it because it would hurt. Be considerate of those type of things. Don't force it. You will hurt, injure somebody. It's not necessary. These hairstyle locks are there for freedom, to be painless, for the hair to flourish, but a lot of people end up having damaged hair because of, apart from experiments, also just not being considerate. Like, you're going to have to deal with every strand a little different. That's honestly what I have come to believe, that you can have thin locks in the same head and they are healthy, and your thick ones are healthy, and that's okay. Not thin because it's falling off. So as you can see here, I'm only going to put the gel on these 4 strands on this side at a time, because remember, it's important for the hair to be moist when you're applying your gel. You don't want to apply your gel and then by the time you're arriving that side, it's dried a little bit. Different hair textures dry at different rates. Some dry faster, so you work with per section so that you can spray your water after. It doesn't work so good. So that's basically the process. You're going to if you notice at the bottom you comb through, that's because our hair grows curly from the root and you want it straight so that it can just look neater. It's going to go and gather with its friends. And for most of the rest of the hair, you'll notice I used different techniques. In the beginning, I used the locksmithing technique because of how the strands were. In these that look healthier with no strays, you will notice I just comb through like that, and then 2 twists is more than enough, and then I palm roll, right? I hope I did that. Palm roll. The more I rub is because I don't want it to have that white residue. Take your time. This was slow. I mentioned that, right? This was done slower, so you don't want it to be white. So take your time. There's no rush. Even if there's another client, let them wait, because it's what you're delivering that's important. It's, oh, my hair's been taken care of. It's not your intentions for the hair. You want it to be healthy. You want this person to come back. You want their hair to grow and flourish. So you gotta treat it like that and not be concerned with, oh, there are 10 other people. That's one of the reasons I value the system of implementing, of you scheduling your appointments ahead of time, because then it means I don't have to rush when I'm with you. I know how much time is allocated for you, and then I allocate a different time for somebody else so that I can do what needs to be done the way it needs to be done. You rush, you crash. There are things you can't rush. Art is one of them, and this is an art. When you're creating stuff, you have to move at the pace at which it calls for. Yeah, so that's what I'll say. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of the video. You just repeat the same things, but use different techniques. Use your wisdom, be observant, and decide. That's kind of why I work quietly, because I'm doing many things. If I'm just talking, then I'm not growing. I need to grow. I need to know, oh, this has worked this way this time. Next time I'll try that. So almost every lock I'm trying something different. How better can I do this? How better can I, yeah. I hope this helps somebody learn. I hope there's something you've learned that really helps and elevates the way you do your work. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll see the hairstyle at the end. She loved it. I loved it. And I like to ask, these days I want to ask, what is the value of being taken care of? First of all, it's in the comfort of your home. Your hair is washed, it's now clean, you're seated, you're comfortable. It's a silent environment. It's how you want it to be. You can control how you want the environment to be, because I'm just here for the hair. And then each individual strand was taken care of. You can feel it. I know they can feel it because I've heard clients tell me this. And so how much do you value this? This is what you want, and you can have fun with it. So what's the value of a retouch? that's basically what you keep doing. You keep repeating the same process. You can change the techniques, but you're repeating the same process, paying attention to each lock. I hope you learned something valuable that you can really apply. Continue to learn more things. Never stop learning. I hope that was like helpful to somebody, or there's one thing you could get out of it. So that was the hairstyle. We did the bob, and it was cute.
And basically, that is that. That is the process, and that is the result. After the twisting and the rolling and the turning and the touching and the bending and the oiling, we finally get the result that we desire.